Good evening, Crimson Tide Nation. Welcome to the 97th edition of Alabama Crimson Tide Live call-in show from yours truly, Jackson Johnson. My co-host Jeffrey will be here in just a little bit as we'll be going over our takes on what's been going on with the fall camp scrimmage and some updates on what's going on as we take your calls on the Crimson Tide all right here. 3 weeks from now will be the 100th edition of the Alabama Call-In Show, as it's going to be a wild ride. And we just want to give you a reminder that this episode of the Alabama Crimson Tide Live Call-In Show is presented by FanDuel, where you can get top-notch predictions in the world of college football, college basketball, men's and women's, WNBA, men's NBA, all right there. And we got a $2 super chat from our good buddy, Sports Talk with Austin, wishing us a happy NBA schedule release day. Nuggets for life. Yes, sirree. The NBA has released their 2026-2027 schedule. We got ourselves a fun ride on Christmas Day, because I'm going to tell you, that's going to be a fun one for sure. You know, flipping between the NBA and the NFL, that's always going to be a crazy one. But, you know, I'm just going to tell you right now that's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, like some of the revenge games as well, like the Clippers with Kawhi Leonard going up against the Clippers, like returning to Toronto Raptors. Man, I did not think I'd see. Oh, yeah. So it's going to be a wild one. But we got Caden the Diesel Freak saying I could agree on that, Austin. Oh, yeah, that's going to be fun. Godfather of the SEC giving out the peace sign, giving out the Alabama Voice College Football emojis as he is a YouTube member of Alabama with the Voice College Football. Oh man, there we go. We are ready to rock and roll. And here's our co-host Jeffrey. Don't only talk sports, but he talks sports every single day, or at least tries to. How you doing tonight, good buddy?
Doing good, Jackson. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. We're rocking and rolling, man. It's going to be an awesome one. But yeah, today, was fall camp scrimmage. So it was a pretty fun one. Can you believe it?
Not really, man. I mean, again, it just shows how close we are to the season, man. Like getting into the weeds of fall camp, scrimmages, and I mean, definitely big time for some of these players. And we've talked about them on previous shows, on the call-in show at Crimson Tide Live, some key players that need, these scrimmages and the practices to really try to make a move on the depth chart or to hold their position. So it's going to be very interesting to see how things go as it progresses further into fall camp, but excited to get into it.
Oh, man. And I will say, though, and you're probably not going to be surprised by hearing this, but, the QB situation is not close to figured out. We're close to having a drink. We're close to seeing somebody get a drink at the Long Branch with Miss Kitty than we are getting the quarterback situation figured out still. So that's pretty – so it's no surprise there. But, one thing I was really thinking about was Lazier Brooks, because I heard today he missed a couple of practices. But, I mean, it's not really anything to throw the baby out with the bathwater or anything. But it's just following today's scrimmage. In Cale DeBoer's press conference, he mentioned that he missed the last couple of practices and did not take part in the fall camp scrimmage today. He made sure to point out that Brooks should not miss any game time in any way, shape, or form, however. So when you're hearing that, Jeffrey, what's your reaction to our wide receiver number 2 on the news involving Brooks?
Well, I mean, that last sentence, him saying that he should not miss any game time, that's huge because obviously we already have the Noah Rogers injury that definitely could impact at least the first third to half of the season. And even though our wide receiver room, we've touted in the offseason as one of the strongest points of our team, an injury to Lazier Brooks as well would be very, very difficult to overcome, at least, if it was long term. Obviously, our games at the beginning of the season are not as difficult. That tougher stretch later on in the season is where we're going to know if this is a playoff team or not. But you just definitely do not want any long-term injury to, or a lingering injury either to one of our main guys. I mean, especially considering, we're all banking on Ron Coleman Williams making a big comeback. We're all banking on that, but that's not a 100% guarantee that he's going to be back to freshman form. Hopefully he will be, and we do expect him to have a bounce back year, but we don't know how much of a bounce back or if at all if that's going to happen for sure. So it's like we need guys like Latsir Brooks to have a big season, Noah Rogers, Sedarian Morgan possibly, Derek Meadows, these other guys, Rico Scott, etc. We got a lot of options, but if you start having injuries, then that's going to make the room not as impressive or not as strong of a strength of the team that we thought it would have been if it was fully healthy. So it's definitely good to hear that Brooks should be fine, that he, according to, that statement, that he will be ready once the season starts. But that stinks that he does have something going on because, stuff like that can linger. So hopefully it's not a lingering thing and he'll be okay.
For sure, man. Like, it should be all right, but it's just like we'll know more in the coming weeks. But here is another update I wanted to show everyone. So this from our good buddy Crimson Coverage, Brody Smoot. Shout out to him, of course, as he brings that magic on Crimson Coverage. Let's give him over 10,000 followers on X. He provides another injury update, and this is having to do with the Alabama running backs, Ackland Deer and E.J. Crowell. Now, E.J. Crowell, we're hoping he could be that breakout freshman for 2026, or at least we know he should be, of course. And as it says on the post, DeBoer informed the media that Crowell did not participate in the scrimmage. However, he added that Crowell should not miss any game time, but as far as Deer is concerned, DeBoer pointed out that he had a solid day but suffered an injury during the scrimmage. He would go on to say that he's going to be evaluated to determine the level of severity regarding his injury. Got me a little nervous for a moment, because hoping everybody's all right, but just kind of play it cool. Don't let everybody get injured. Don't let yourself get too hurt. Just make sure you're not doing too much while you're recovering. Because if you're doing too much while you're recovering, it's going to end badly. Because, like, John Mateer is a great example of that. Because, like, something tells me that he did a little too much. Like, he came back too soon in that Texas game. Shouldn't have done that. I don't want to see that happen with Crowell, where it's like he's coming back too soon. And same with Ackland Deer. We don't want to be seeing that. Can the Bama fan ask, does anybody know what's going on with Crowell? That's what we're talking about right now. Hearing this news, Jeffrey, what's your thoughts on it?
Well, it's tough to swallow, especially with Deer if he is not going to be ready for the season. Because at least when it came to Brooks and when it came to Crowell, it said that should be okay, like game time by the season. But when it came to Deer, it didn't say that. So, we've been hearing a lot of reporting on Deer throughout off season and whatnot that he might not be 100%, which that's not good news for him because this is a big season for Deer. He's got Crowell behind him, chomping at the bit to possibly, pass him on the depth chart. And, obviously like Daniel Hill's probably going to be the lead back, but to me, he's not a guy, again, nothing against Daniel Hill at all. He might have a great year and I hope he does, but he's a guy that I feel like he's not the massive bell cow where it's like he's going to get 90% of the carries, right? Like these other running backs are going to get a chance to break into the rotation. This was a big year for AK Deer that he could be that guy. He could contribute heavily this season and really not maybe break out massively onto the national scene, but definitely have an impact on our team this year positively. But definitely not good sign that he's not healthy, not participating in scrimmage, and not really getting any positive updates that he will be able to play. Because if he's not able to play, much this season, I'm not saying his career is cooked. He's still a young guy, but it's like you eventually do get passed on the depth chart. I mean, you remember, I know you remember, I believe his name was Trey Sanders. I think his name was Trey Sanders. But he was a 5-star running back that we had such high hopes for. Alabama fans couldn't wait to see him, and he just never got out there on the field because he was always hurt. He had some injury after another, and that's tough. I mean, it sucks. I mean, stuff happens. Sometimes your body just doesn't – things just don't work out. You get hurt. But, I mean, definitely just don't want A.K. Deer to be another Trey Sanders situation. So I'm definitely not thinking the worst, but it's just seeing that's definitely not a good sign. And, I mean, our running back room, we've been, clamoring for an improved running back room this year, an improved, offensive line running back combo to give our team more of a 50-50 type of offense, even if we still pass more, but like a legitimate run game. We just did not have a legitimate run game. And it's definitely not a good sign if guys like Deer are hurt and Crowell maybe has something going on, even if it's minor. It's just, you want those guys to stay healthy. I mean, this is fall camp. These are scrimmages. It's not real. It's not the game. It's not a game. And obviously stuff happens. Stuff happens, but it's definitely not a good sign that a lot of Alabama players are experiencing stuff like this. I'm not saying anything about strength and conditioning coaches because, I mean, those guys can be doing a great job and they still get hurt. But it's just not a great thing for Alabama, a team that's already young, a team that already has a lot of question marks. Hopefully all this is just minor bumps and bruises and these guys will be okay.
There we go. And we've got this clip from Kayla DeBoer, who was at today's press conferences. And, this is a clip from the next round. Let's go ahead and play it, shall we?
EJ did not scrimmage today. He'll be out for a few practices here. He won't miss any games down the road. So he did not practice today. AK did suffer an injury. He actually was having a nice scrimmage, scored a touchdown. We'll evaluate him and figure out what the severity of that. So that was unfortunate because he was having a real nice scrimmage there with the touches he got. So that's kind of the status on those two. EJ,
he's got kind of that worried dad look for a little bit, and I don't blame him too, because I mean, I would be a little worried, but we're gonna wait and see what happens. We're gonna monitor the situation. There's no worries there. And the chat, Ken the Bama fan was asking about Crowell. Didn't say he was injured. Godfather SC says Crowell has been hurt since the spring soft tissue injury. Yikes. Ken the Bama fan says, who the heck is hitting Deer after he scored? And Ken the Bama fans saying that Crowell is letting Trayshawn eat off his plate. If he really gets going, then Crowell has yet to scrimmage despite being on campus over 8 months. Yeah. And Bama sits 0-4 for life. It has been a minute since we've seen you, good buddy. Here we go. Injuries piling up. Starting quarterback situation remains a mystery. I mean, it's going to continue to remain a mystery until like the week before game time. Enlighten me, folks. What's going on here? Is it the coaches? Is it the players? Are we on the right path? I'm lost. I don't blame you for not getting worried, but we've got a few weeks to kind of get this.
Well, I mean, you did mention before on a previous show, looking at the eyes, like you paying attention to like posturing, all the small details, right? Like that's what when you're observing, how somebody responds. Not always tone, it's not always, whatever, but it's like he definitely did not look, positive there. He didn't look confident. Now, I mean, that's not to say, I mean, it's hard on a 28-second soundbite to really, gauge, but still, I mean, it definitely did seem like he was a bit worried, but, we have other options like, Ken, the Bama fan said, you've got, Trayshawn, back there, he's a freshman too, or we've been talking about Crowell a lot, but maybe he'll have a chance. You still got Kevin Riley. I mean, we got options. It's just having the full, hands on deck with Deer and Crowell, would be nice because it give you more options. You would think out of all those running backs, somebody's going to step up next to Daniel Hill and hopefully have a bit of a breakout because we need it, But just like I said earlier, hopefully the injuries are not severe and they'll be all right.
That is for sure. Like, we wish nothing but awesomeness for our guys. And, we want to make sure everybody's all good, especially when the season's starting. And don't do too much while you're recovering from your injury because you don't want to do that. If you want a good example on what not do, look at John Mateer, for example, because he did way too much while he was recovering.
Or what the Cowboys did bringing Tony Romo back way too early at the end of his career. That was terrible.
Oh, 100%, no doubt. You know, Jeffrey, we got a pat lineup on the call-in section. So what we'll do is just kind of go 6 minutes on each call. We saw Darrell on there, but look, don't worry, Darrell. You'll be able to come back. No worries there. We'll start off with Kate the Diesel Freak, and then we're going to start off with the Godfather. Caden, how are you doing tonight? Good, buddy. It would not be the Alabama College Show without another memorable call from Caden from Ohio.
Well, gentlemen, it's Thursday night. It's a beautiful night. I'm just relaxing after a long day of work and ready to get at it tomorrow.
Oh, there you go, man.
But, you know, this is what I tell people and remind people of, like, when you get ready for those camps in the winter to early spring after losing or winning a championship, you're supposed to always stay on top of that, just to help you stay loose, help you stay conditioned. That's the most important for any athlete, especially if you're playing high at a high value college like Alabama, Miami, Georgia, Ohio State. I mean, you're supposed to follow procedure. That's why there's procedures for the players. Yet some of them don't take advantage of them like they should. So
that is a great point. I mean, especially when you're at a big time college, you got the best equipment, you got the best strength and conditioning coaches, trainers, you know, all that type of stuff, and they give you a regimen. It's like if you know, again, we don't know who's falling or not, whatever. I mean, you would like to think everyone is, but you have no idea. But it's like if a player's not doing that, that's kind of on them. You know, so it's like it's just definitely all speculatory on these minor bumps and bruises for Bama. But, you know, I'm sure there's been plenty of guys in the past that didn't follow, you know, a regimen right, and that's definitely aided in them getting hurt.
Well, and I was at OSU fall camp. Went on an emergency run after I left OSU fall camp after the days where they had a bunch of fans come into the practice facility. Looking good, and I believe Ohio State. This is one of the most complete teams that we have right now at Ohio State right now, offensively and defensively. Now, do I see any errors? Not particularly. I feel confident in Arthur Smith and watching him. I'm pretty confident in our offense being able to do the run pass option, get the quarterback open, get him able to run a little bit, throw the ball on the run, and be able to avoid sacks. So that's the one thing I'm impressed about. I'm just ready for the season to go, and I don't know if you follow me on Twitter or not, Jackson. Posted a video after I'd left the camp, and yeah, that was a fun little emergency trip of a evening. In Michigander, I've got a little word of advice. Someone told me, hey, Michigander, I heard you moan when you got rear-ended. Oh, you God. Bum. That one's for Michigander because he's a moron. But Jackson, Jeffrey, you notice anything different about my call tonight?
I know she got a different audio avatar tonight.
Yeah, it's usually the profile picture changes sometimes. I was gonna say you've been calmer, but I don't know. Kind of. You said some stuff, but you know, I guess we're decently calm. But the profile.
Well, you're forgetting the one slight detail from the last call. If you can figure it out.
Dude, I don't remember, man.
Oh.
I never insulted you guys tonight.
Okay, cool. Well, that kind of goes in the calmer, more rational. I mean, I haven't really disagreed with it. I mean, it's not about disagree. See, I don't want to. That's not the correct way to say that. It's not disagree, because you can disagree with someone and it's still rational. It's just sometimes you say stuff that's just so out of left field that it's just like nobody's like, nah, But tonight you've been all right, so you're good.
There we go.
So far,
Well, I mean,
not done yet, so we'll see where it goes.
Well, I mean, I'm just calling in tonight. I mean, what can I say?
There we go.
But, hey, by the way, my question is for Ohio State. Can we bring it against? Well, actually, mainly my question is with the defense. Can we shut our opponents out early in the game? Just lock down.
Are you confident in your O-line?
I'm confident in my O-line, but it's just defensively we've got to shut down our opponents early in the first half. If we can lock them down in the first half, we're all set. We'll have some double-digit games. We could blow out Oregon. We could show Indiana why. Fooling around with us was the one thing you didn't want to do. That's what I'm basically trying to say. As long as we can lock it down like we were supposed to last season, we're going to be fine. That's all I mean. I for Tilly, I'm going to be honest about. But
I mean, just shut out Kent State and Ball State, honestly. I mean,
but my thing is, we've got to do it we got to do it at home against Oregon and on the road against Indiana. That's where I'm mainly focusing on. We've got to shut down Indiana early. They don't have Mendoza. We've got them right where we want them. And they don't have a lot of their offensive weapons. So, I mean...
The thing that is interesting, Cade, though, is that no one really thought last year that Indiana had a lot of weapons, and they ended up having weapons because they ended up being good. So it's like Mendoza, this time last year, no one thought Mendoza was going to be a top 5 quarterback in college football. Maybe even top 10. And most people were decent on him. Like, yeah, he'll be fine, but it's like Indiana's players ended up being really good last year. So it's kind of whether the guys that they have this year do the same thing or not. If they do, then Indiana's going to be just as much of a problem. If they don't, then Ohio State will definitely have an advantage. I mean, Indiana's a question mark because last year no one thought they were going to be that good, and they ended up being that good. But now they have a lot of new players. Will those players hit? Will Nick Marsh be as good as an Omar Cooper? Will Josh Hoover be as good as a Fernando Mendoza? All those things will be answered this season, obviously, but we don't know.
But that's where, Jeffrey, you point that out, and I'm glad you pointed that out. But like I said, we've got to lock down Indiana as soon as we get in there. Oregon is at home. Texas, I know that's not going to be a problem. DKR is not going to be a problem. And as long as we can lock down Indiana, we can take care of USC, we can take care of Oregon, we can take care of Michigan.
Oh, USC's going to have to get. I think USC's going to have to get the blindfold and the cigarettes ready when they play Ohio State.
I'm seeing a lot of people say UCLA is going to have a better record than USC. And again, if that happens, that might be the.
I know Lucas Hill has been saying that. Like,
I'm not saying it will happen, but it is possible, and it'd be terrible for.
God, I want that to happen. I want that to happen so bad.
I know why.
But here's my thing.
I want you to be punished. That's the thing for not wanting to play Notre Dame. So there you go.
Well, they do got to play Notre Dame.
Yeah, in 2030. I don't want to wait another few years. I want it now. That's the thing.
Well, here's the thing. Ohio State is going to put belt to to USC. So.
Well, that's true.
Most people definitely expect that.
Oh yeah, on Halloween.
But Notre Dame, USC. I can't wait till Notre Dame gets their hands on USC and starts beating the crap out of them again.
God, I can't wait for that.
I cannot stand Trojan fans running their mouths all freaking day.
Well, Trojan fans are all right. They're pretty cool.
Trojan-
I'm just annoyed by Jen Cohen and Lincoln Riley.
It's not even just Jim Cronin and Lincoln Riley just running their mouth. It's their entire fan base yippity yapping. Jeez. No, you're gonna get belt to ass here in the next few months. So I be patient, boys. And that's to Southern Cal fans. That's not to
Although I
anybody
will
else.
cross my fingers for that game to be played in December, but that actually requires USC to be good in a big game, of course, against
Yeah,
like an
but
Oregon or an Indiana. Which I mean, no, that's not going to happen.
no,
I think we're going. I think we're
USC's
going
gonna
to see the
choke.
third. I think we're going to see the season 3 premiere of Hasman Hotel before we see USC making it to the playoffs. So
GG.
that's
It's not gonna be. It's not even gonna be the. It's not gonna be even the season 3 of the Hasbro Hotel Jackson. It's probably gonna be season 5 of the Hasbro Hotel. Goes to the
yeah,
title
Bobby and
game.
Lincoln Riley's still the head coach of
Season
USC.
43
Yeah.
of The Simpsons.
Huh?
Season 43 of The Simpsons.
Oh yeah. Oh man, it is never going to be. It's never going to get too old to trash on Lincoln Riley ever. I mean, especially because he was hired to see if he can get USC to Pete Carroll lengths, and he's not even done that at all.
I just still laugh when
man.
people say, "Oh, he didn't leave Oklahoma because Oklahoma was joining the SEC." I mean, it's still funny though. Like,
oh, I actually believe that.
you know,
if he knew USC was going to join the Big Ten, he'd have been like, "I'm taking my little cigarette and driving on out of here."
This is so freaking funny because for the first time, I've actually agreed with Jackson on this, and not only have I agreed with him on this, you know, I bet you it'll be probably what the 6th season of Friends before Lincoln Riley gets like 10-2.
Oh, I mean, like it, but probably when like Netflix makes a deal to air Friends on syndication, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
Like, so no one told you life was gonna be this way. Like,
we
you wasn't kidding me.
On a break. Oh man, Jeff discussed it.
It'll probably be
no.
It'll probably be by the time of my nephew. Lincoln Riley will probably go 10-2 with Southern Cal by the time my nephew graduates from elementary school. Jeez.
Michigander's certainly saying some stuff in chat.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man. Well, we'll go ahead and get to the next caller. You know, sitting there waiting in the wings. And Caden, awesome as always. Hang with you, good buddy.
Hey, you gentlemen have a great night, and y'all take care.
Appreciate it, Caden. Definitely talk to you next week.
See you next week. And that was another hilarious call. All right there on the Alabama Crimson Tide Live College Show. And we've got our next caller on the line. You know him, you love him. You know him as the Godfather of the SEC.
The Godfather of the SEC is back.
Yeah, I just thought I'd jump. Sound like to me that Caden had been taking some ketamine himself. Was I knew I'd get a laugh out of Jeffrey with that. But anyway, first we got to start off here. This jungle jive music we playing here at practice. You can't even hear the goddamn coaches talk. When you got music loud on the field, even at LSU, and you can't hear Ed Odrin, you need to do something. I mean, you've got some problems. Coach Bryant would roll over in his grave. This is the exact words Coach Bryant said. He said, "If you'll quit on me in practice, you'll quit on me in the game." That's exactly what his words. And I mean, pleasing guys is fine. I don't care. I love the music myself. I love it, all kind of music. I don't care what it is. But when you can't hear the coaches coach, and you run around out there and boom, 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 bow, bow. Hell, Crow Rail hadn't even practiced since he's been there. Sure hadn't.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
No, he hadn't hit the field since his ass has been there. You hurt. I mean, I understand that too, but I mean, they got to move on. He's done. If he ain't practiced since he's been there, then what is he? He's a freshman, isn't he?
He's a freshman. Yeah.
Okay, well, he's redshirted and he's done. They'll redshirt him this year. He ain't got no choice but redshirt him or get rid of him. I mean, the NIL, the way it is now, he can go wherever he wants to. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not down there, but here we go. We got 2 or 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 injuries, soft tissue injuries. Where in the hell is David Blue? Is he in there listening to that music too? Where's he at? I mean, Alabama can't start off on a negative foot, because if they do, they'll crash and burn. You lose.
I mean,
you lose.
The thing is that, like, I don't know. I agree with you overall. Like, it's not the music, like the what they're playing, is how loud it is. I mean, I would say that certain types of music maybe would be more distracting. I'm not a music expert, so I can't say. Yeah, I mean, I know a lot about music, but I mean, I'm not like, some people know like sonically what types of music are better for like certain things, like reading, maybe if you're studying, or working out music, all that type of stuff. I don't know. That type of stuff is very advanced, but typically the type of music that a lot of these universities play during this stuff is I mean, I wouldn't say it's maybe the best music for paying attention. Maybe when it comes to like just like you're fired up and you're working out, it might be good, but when it comes to trying to listen to the coaches, absolutely not. But like you said, maybe it's not more like the type of music, but just the volume of it. I guess they have it that loud for hype them up.
I guess.
Well, yeah, Michiganers saying, yeah. I mean,
well,
I don't know, man. I mean, music I would be listening to would not. They wouldn't play that. I mean, they wouldn't be playing Yes or Asia or Genesis or something. They're not gonna play. They're not gonna play that.
That's all I hear.
It's like it's just. I mean, to me that music might be better, but I don't know.
I mean, what are they gonna do in the game when there ain't no damn music? I mean, I don't have nothing against them.
Just get some pregame music, get everybody fired up.
I'm not no racist person. I never have been. My mother and daddy didn't raise me that way. I'm sorry. And I was raised when racism was running strong. I remember white and black water fountains, bathrooms at Legion Field. So don't sit and go to puking that garbage to me like some of these guys get on here and do when you wasn't even born then. You don't know what you're talking about. Sure.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. I mean, for me, it's like you said. I mean, it doesn't matter on that. I mean, there's great music. I mean, you think about one thing I like about music is like the historical like context of how like music came to be. Like rock and roll music came from blues music and jazz and stuff. And it's like there's so much influence and it's great. I mean, there's so much good music out there. It's just music that's in right now definitely is. It's not rock. It's not classical, because there's not a lot of classical influence. Like that's why I like progressive rock was so cool, because it was a combination of rock that stemmed from blues and jazz, and then classical music. It was like a fusion. But that, like I said, that stuff's gone. That there's underground stuff, but no one listens to that stuff anymore. It's just music now. It's just very simplistic, and like a lot of people, I like the people that watch TikTok and stuff a lot. That type of stuff is, it's just it's all about like repetition. Like you're scrolling. It's like a lot of modern music. It's just the same beat being played. There's nothing like, I'm not saying like challenging to listen to it, but like when you listen to a lot of older songs, there was actually like a lot of key changes, and there's a lot of like, tonality shifts, and I'm using a bunch of words, but like the songs, they took you on a journey, and like a lot of times, like it was just very comfort. It was comfort listening, right? Like I said, I'm not a music expert, but I'm just saying, like when I listen to, there's good modern music. Like I'm not one of those people that think everything new is bad, but a lot of the stuff that people listen to these days on a regular basis it's not music that challenges your brain.
No.
It's just music that it's repetitive. It doesn't really have a lot of value outside of maybe it's catchy or something like that. So I don't know. It's just overall, like, it would not be what I would be listening to while, working out or really doing anything. I mean, like Darrell said, songs are getting shorter. I mean, most songs are like 3 minutes now or like 2 minutes. I mean, there were short songs in the past, like Creedence. Most of their songs were like 2 minutes. So it's not like short songs are bad. But I mean, songs that are like 8 minutes or 9 minutes, like Yes is Roundabout, or
this ain't got nothing to do with how long the song is.
Supper's Ready from Genesis was 23 minutes. Like 2112 from Rush was like 22 minutes. I mean, those type of songs will probably never come back, and that's fine. But I mean, like those songs did take you on a journey. I respect a lot of songs from all different types of eras. I mean, like I said, I listen to some modern music too, but it's just a lot of those songs in the past.
He's walking on thin ice.
They were, artistically a lot better.
He's tiptoeing around.
Things are subjective, but it was just different back then.
He's tiptoeing and walking around on thin ice. He don't know how thin ice he's walking on in Alabama right now. Nobody has got the guts to come out and say this. I'd call in down in the Wednesday night show to Bob Baumheimer. I'd tell him, you walking on thin ice, bro. I'm going to tell you right now, this didn't come from Paul Feinbaum. I still know some guys in the that's pretty deep in the program. They wanted him fired when he lost to Florida State. The calls were done. The calls were done calling. How much it gonna cost us to get this son of a bitch out of here? When you got big boosters like that and you get liquor mixed in with it, loose lips sink ships.
That is true.
And that's exactly what happened at a couple
true
of
thoughts come out when you got 4 or 5 beers inside you.
When they wanted him gone when he lost to Florida State. They were done making phone calls.
No.
And I mean, a lot of people ain't gonna believe that. That's fine. That's like me telling you I just shook hands with Bigfoot. Okay, that's fine too. You probably don't believe it, but anyway, we'll move on. If he goes 3-4, loses 3 or 4 games this year, I've watched a lot of Alabama football, and he don't make the playoff or gets in. I wish the SEC championship game was gone. I care nothing about it anymore. It's not because we're playing Georgia. I'm tired of it. It's run its course. Get rid of it. It's gone. I don't give a damn how much money it generates. Make another game. Generate your money somewhere else. If you're a smart businessman, you can. That game to me is gone.
Well, it's insane to me that all it took for probably the vast majority of college football fans to agree with what you just said is the playoff to exist. Because again, when the playoff did not exist and you had the BCS and then everyone played in your bowl games, it didn't matter.
No,
it really didn't matter, because it's like if you were ranked 6th in the nation and you win the SEC championship game, you still weren't going to be in the BCS.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So it's like win or lose, it didn't matter. All it mattered was bowl position. Now that it's all about playoffs, and now that they're expanding the playoff and you've got all these games that you're going to potentially play, and injuries, and it's becoming more of a strain on the players playing more games. Like, oh, now we don't need it. I mean, the problem is that you've created this new system. You've got all these new rules and all these new games and all this format, and then it's like it's destroying the old format. So like right now we're at the crossroads where the old format is still clashing with the new format. So like bowl games are the old format. So it's like now bowl games don't matter, and everybody's like bowl games do matter. They don't matter because of the fact that Jackson, you gotta go. I'm almost done. If bowl games matter, then why do players opt out? Why are they not playing? Why are they hitting the portal? So it's like, but people are telling me that they matter still, that they should be played. I want them to be played. I love bowl games, but they don't matter. If they mattered, then the players will be playing. They'd want to win the game. They'd want to get that trophy. you wouldn't have teams like Notre Dame opting out of the bowl game entirely because they missed the playoffs. That shows you that the playoffs have replaced the bowl games. But still, we're keeping the bowl games as part of the old system. But the new system doesn't have it. It makes it where the old system makes no sense. So it's just you have this. I agree with Artistically Incredible. The Pop-Tarts Bowl does matter to me. I think all the bowl games matter.
That's always
the system. It makes it not matter.
Yep.
I'm just saying the SEC championship game doesn't matter. Go ahead, Jackson. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, because we got a loaded lineup on the call in tonight. What are you looking forward to in the weeks to come with fall camp? As it continues on, because we're gonna get to our next few callers.
Get rid of the music. Go to practicing the way they used to practice. That's not gonna hurt them. If they don't like it, let them go home. Let them go in the locker room and suck their goddamn thumb.
Oh, man.
That's exactly what Coach Bryant had do to him. Coach Stalin has done the same thing. Ray Perkins has done the same thing. Bill Curry had done the same thing. Dennis Franchione had done the same thing. Mike DeBose would have done the same thing.
Oh, man.
I mean, whether you like them, whether you didn't, I mean, there's got to be a point to where the coach is in control of the football team. Not playing music, not out there dancing around. And when you get in the ball game, you're standing around out there looking around like you're watching airplanes up in the sky, and you don't even know how much time's left on the goddamn clock. They're lost. They look lost to me. I mean, the defense is killing the offense right now, which I told y'all that the defense is going to be pretty good. I had some inside guys tell me that they're whooping the offensive line's ass once again. What's going to happen if we can't get an offensive line in the season? I don't know anymore. I'm confused. I've been confused.
I will say one thing about earlier. I know Jackson's wanting to speed up because he's got definitely a lot of callers, but definitely
we got Mountaineer Paul waiting in the winch. We got
definitely when it comes to the offensive line and the run game, if it's not better, then Alabama could lose 3 or 4 games, like you said. But when you said earlier that he'll be constantly fired, like things be really bad. I don't think so because they gave him the extension. But what do I know? They might have given him the extension and they still could fire him. But I mean, it's just, why would you give him the extension, and make it seem like, hey, we're sticking with you long term, even if this is a bit of a down year, just to fire him anyway. I don't know. Alabama, it's just in general. Nick Saban was the one coach in college football that was able to get players motivated every single game, despite changing everything. Everything's changing. A lot of people talk about the younger generation. They're not motivated. They're not this, not that, all this. Some of it's overblown, but I mean, it is true in a lot of context. But Nick Saban was able to get the guys that he got into the program to buy in 100%, and most of them played. And if they didn't, then they left, like Billingsley and others. But now, outside of Cignetti, because he did it last year, we're not seeing that. A lot of these coaches, Kirby Smart, the last few years, Kirby Smart has had minimal control over his own program. It has been a disaster. And it's how much control does DeBoer have? Like, he might be trying to, but it's like, for one, a lot of people say that he doesn't have the personality for it, but also it's just the day and age we're in. A lot of the players, even if you're trying your best to really, really coach them, they might not want that. They might not be accepting of that type of coaching. And if they're not accepting that type of coaching, and then it makes it a lot harder on your team. So again, these are a lot of questions we don't know for sure. But it's like, if Alabama's offensive line is just as bad as it was last year with a new offensive line coach and some new players, and there is a problem. There's a massive problem.
I'll leave with this, Jackson. If he loses 3 or 4 games this year and don't make the playoff, and accidentally was to get in the SEC championship, and don't win that, and the only game he really makes use of is the Auburn game, because that's the only game that's worth the crap anyway. If they don't make the playoffs and SEC championship, you might as well wait. Somebody better have the U-Haul backed up down to Alabama, because when you got 3 or 4, 5, 6, 7 guys that are billionaires, big time billionaires, $13 million ain't squat to them. It's not squat. Look at Auburn. How many billionaires is on?
They got
the board
10
of trustees down there
from Apple. They got 10.
That's right. Look how many billionaires down there. They'll show you the door so quick you'll never remember it.
Oh man,
because it don't mean anything to them. It's like $100 bill to us. Poor folks, what my daddy used to say, poor folks. But I love all the people on here. It's good to be back. I'll be back the Thursday before we start off. I think, September the 3rd? Is that correct?
Yeah, but we might be moving it up or moving it down for week 1. but we'll keep you
That's
updated.
definitely a to be determined as of right now, especially with the return of the 24-hour stream. Can't not beat the 24-hour stream with Mark Rogers, the voice of college football. So we'll definitely see when we'll be doing our live stream that week.
Right.
Do appreciate it, Godfather. Always love chatting with you.
Always
You got a fan of Michigander. He says when you're ranting a little bit that you're really
when you're
funny.
mad as a cottonmouth, you're
it's
funny.
definitely
I
a
hated
good
to get. I
compliment
hated
there.
to get.
I agree with you though. I mean, you're definitely
I hated to
making
get
a lot
bent
of
out
great
of shape.
points.
I hated to get bent out of shape. I apologize to everybody, but it's not racism to me. You just can't practice. You got to get hold of these guys and jerk a knot in their tail. If you don't, you're gonna have problems, and you got problems anyway now. I mean, that's what you got to do. But anyway, I love all y'all. I'll see y'all maybe September the 3rd, before or after there. Y'all stay safe, stay out of the heat.
You too, man.
And once again, I'll say roll tide. I saw bad
Roll
and good.
tide, roll.
Roll tide, roll, Godfather. You have a great night. Good to chat with you again.
And you know this man as the host of Locked On West Virginia, where he goes over your Mountaineers every single day. And he's also my co-host, and I am partners with him on this channel on College Sports Insiders. You know him, you love him, you know him as Mountaineer Paul, and you know this Nets guy as one of the most memorable callers that you see on The Voice of College Football every time he calls in with Mark Rogers. Some people know him as the guy that sounds like Chief from Fox and Hound, but you always get a good laugh from him, the one and only himself, the real MVP.
There we go.
How you gentlemen doing tonight?
Doing good, man.
Glad to see you, Paul. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, it's I was listening to what the old timer there said. I always say,
man, Godfather, SEC, yeah.
something that it always happens every year, I think, is the defensive line always starts out ahead of the offensive line, especially if you've got new pieces. So I wouldn't be freaking out too bad if they were getting the better of the. I don't know the ins and outs of that situation. I don't know if there's new pieces on the O line and the D line's coming back, or if it's reversed. But it's a lot more difficult position to learn and master than defensive line is, because defensive line, yes, you're working as one on defensive line too in certain situations, whether you're twisting or stunting or whatever. But I mean, it really is all five working as one on the offensive line, and it's just, in my opinion, it's one of the hardest things in sports to get right. To really get right. I mean, you can get it right sometimes. You might get it right 7 or 8 games of the year, but very, very rarely do you see a team do it for 10, 11, 12 games. So
that is true. And I hate that some people have been kind of throwing the baby out with the bathwater, get worried. And I understand people get worried, but still, though, I've got a good feeling about the offensive line this year for Alabama. And I've said it on here a lot of times, and here on the Alabama channel, but also on a few other places here and there. One of them being with Dale Bliss of the Oregon Fan Show on the Oregon channel here at the Voice of College Football Network. I told him one of the things that Alabama needs to do is make sure that O-line is fits. And I've also said it to Gus Wilson at the Auburn channel, is make sure you've got the O-line fits. Make sure you've got the kicking game fits. You get 2 of those things fits for 2026, everything else will be a cinch. When you've got the O-line fits ready and raring to go, the running game will be no problem at all.
Yeah, I think a lot of the concerns down near Paul is Alabama's offensive line last year was, for their standards, atrocious. And I think a lot of their concerns going in this year is mitigated based on what they had last year. And I think they're seeing some early signs, and a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, is this going to be like last year where we can't even run the football at all?
Well, what's the situation? Is it the same players or new players?
We got some new players, but they're a few older guys, really, like Rayson Delgatti from Cal Poly. He's got a couple years left, as I know.
Are these returners though, or are they all new?
All new, with the exception of one guy and Michael Carroll.
Yeah, that's not a shock at all. Then if they're behind the defensive line and they're all new, Yeah.
Well, a lot of the confidence just comes from the new.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not disagreeing with Austin
Everybody's
either. Like,
excited about the new O-line coach because a lot of people were they started to blame as the season went along our offensive line coach from last year, Kappelvick, or the guy that went to Auburn. Wasn't that his name, Jackson? Something like that.
Which one from Auburn?
The old offensive line coach for Alabama that's now
Chris Kappelvick at Auburn.
Yeah, he started to get more and more of the blame as the season went along last year, saying that the schematics were terrible. It wasn't the players, it was the schematics. I think it was both. I think partially it was the player. I think partially it was the schematics. But a lot of people believe with Adrian Clem, the new offensive line coach, that our offensive line will be dramatically improved because with the schematics fixed and doing things the right way, whatever, and the preparation will be better, that Alabama's offensive line will improve tremendously. But that's to be determined. I mean, we have no idea. We have no idea at all. And like you said, Mountaineer Paul, you made a great point in chat that usually the defensive line is ahead of the offensive line. So it's not the end of the world if Alabama's offensive line is struggling a bit right now. But I mean, by maybe week 3, week 4, if they start to gel, Alabama might be fine. But we don't know yet. I mean, we got a few new players. We have some returners. I mean, we've got a lot of talent. I mean, we brought in some highly rated guys from Michigan, Strayhorn and Haywood. You know, we got some really big-time names in the transfer portal. We got some decent returners, new offensive line coach. It's just whether it actually comes together or not this time. Because last year it was terrible.
Right, and also your quarterback is brand new and getting first-team reps and the whole communication. Right. Communication's huge when it comes to the offensive line, and having somebody brand new quarterback who's never played before, it's going to be a steep uphill for the first few weeks of the season. So
that's why I'm such a big proponent of retention over acquisition. You know, I mean, it's just so much better. Even if, like, I'll give you guys an example for like today, West Virginia signed a couple of their 5th-year guys from last year on one of the worst teams we've had in a while from last year. But I would almost bet that both of those guys make year 2 jumps in the system because it was year 1 for them last year in a Zach Alley system. So I think, you know, maybe, you know, they were both starters. So I think, you know, when you've got those kind of situations, even if players maybe didn't perform as well as you expected them to in the first year, there's always going to be year 2 jump. And these players get no grace these days. I mean, it's insane, man. Like it just, I think that's why there's at the top, there's less and less parity because teams just, you know, it's like Signetti. He just masterstroke that. I mean, to do what he did will never happen again. We talk about, I'm sure you talk about it all the time. And then probably who wins it this year will have a similar type scenario where
there's 800 billion articles in the last year that who's going to be next year's Indiana, who's going to be next year's Indiana, who's going to be next year's. No, there's not going to be a next Indiana.
Wasn't his major strategy too getting really old?
There will be no Kurt Signetti and Indiana duplicate. If that happens, and there's just some insane outlier going on that happens again. There's no way.
Purdue's going to win it all, Jeffrey.
Talking about, like, if you take a program like West Virginia, if Rich Rod took West Virginia right now and took them to the college football playoff, it still would not be as impressive as what Kurt Signetti did in Indiana, because Indiana as a program was so fundamentally broken, and they were bad. They were awful. They had the worst record in all of Power 4, Power 5, whatever college football history. They were the worst program in college football that was in a major conference, a major team. They're not in the MAC. They're not Mount West. I mean, it was Indiana football. They've been playing football since 1900, and they were always bad outside of a couple of outlier years that they made a Rose Bowl once in 67 and 45 or whatever. I mean, they were nothing. They were so bad. And then, I mean, they were 3-0.
They had a winning season a couple years ago.
Yeah, I mean,
that's it.
Even then, that was during the one season was the pandemic year, and a lot of it was kind of fluky.
6-4.
But still, I mean, even when Tom Allen had Indiana be a little better, you know, they weren't that great. And I mean, Penix, if he had Kurt Signetti's coaching with better players around, Penix would have been incredible in Indiana. But still, I mean, that is fair. I mean, had a decent year, but to take a 3-9, I mean, Indiana was dead. I mean, when Tom Allen beat Akron in 4 overtimes in 23, It's like, and he's running around the field like won the Super Bowl. It's like that's how low that program was. They were at the very low of the low that they've always been in, pretty much their entire existence. And then he turned them around in 2 years, went to Natty, go 16-0. That can't be duplicated. That just cannot be duplicated.
Especially if you're not in the portal era.
What Clark Lee has done at Vanderbilt is more feasible. Lance Leopold did at Kansas or Leopold, whatever. That's feasible. You know, if Rich Rod has West Virginia go 8-4, 9-3 this year, that's feasible.
Yeah.
Indiana going from 3-9 2 years later, win a national championship at a program that never even won a Rose Bowl and never won a Natty, had never even been to the playoff and never done any of those things. And they just did all that and won it. It's not going to happen again. It's just not. You're not going to take a program like a Rutgers and do that. I don't think. You never know. I'm not. Anything's possible, I guess, but realistically, it's not going to happen. And that's why the next year's Indiana crap annoys me, because you're trying to justify, if a 4-8 South Carolina makes the playoff, then they're this year's Indiana. They're not. In no world is South Carolina comparable to what Indiana was. They're not. I get what you're saying, but it's just fundamentally false.
So
and
wasn't they really old, that Indiana team? Like, doesn't that a big part of that?
That's overblown too. They weren't even in the top 25 in the nation in experience. They had a few guys that were fifth year, but they had a lot of juniors. They had a lot of sophomores. I mean, it's not like their entire team was seniors. So that was overblown. And plus, that doesn't matter either, because Indiana basketball literally had the oldest team in college basketball last year and missed the tournament.
Oh God, don't get me started on. I'm sorry, Austin. I know you need to go. Don't get me started on the debris, though. God.
Yeah, I'm serious. So Indiana basketball statistically had the oldest team in college basketball last year, and they missed the tournament. So the age thing really doesn't matter. It don't, because if it's all about age, then Indiana basketball should have made a Final Four. I know what you're saying. I mean, it's been plastered all over the internet. Yes, Indiana had an older team, but it's not. I mean, Mendoza wasn't a fifth-year senior. Charlie Becker sure wasn't a fifth-year senior. Omar Cooper wasn't even a senior. Half the O-line were sophomores and juniors. I mean, it's not like they had the oldest team in the country. That's just a narrative people pushed to try to justify that what Signetti did really wasn't actually that impressive, which is total crap, considering they had 0 5-stars and only like 4 4-stars on the entire team. Again, it doesn't matter. The experience thing really doesn't matter. You can have the most experienced team in college football, but if the team sucks, it doesn't matter. So I fully disagree with that argument, because, again, Indiana basketball had the most experienced team. All 22, 23-year-olds across the board last year in college basketball, and they sucked. So that doesn't matter. Again, I get your point. It is very valid, but that's not the reason Indiana football won a national championship, was because they were old. That had nothing to do with it.
Jeffrey, I think you and I have talked about this comparison once or twice before in past conversations, like whether if it's been on shows or off air, but Indiana and Nebraska are a lot like one another, because like you see Nebraska basketball doing something unexpected, but like making a Sweet 16. You know, that's something that's not really done in Nebraska basketball. Fred Hoiberg is getting the job done over in Lincoln. And
the opposite programs are succeeding and failing in what they used to be good and bad at.
Yeah.
Nebraska football, Indiana basketball were elite. They've died, and they died around the same time. And then Nebraska basketball and Indiana football were the worst of the worst, and now they're really good. So the similarities are insane. It would be even more insane if somehow Nebraska basketball won a national championship.
God,
then it would be exactly the same. I mean,
that would be crazy if that happened. If Nebraska basketball if Nebraska basketball was winning it all.
Because up to this point, both programs were mirroring each other pretty similarly until Indiana won a national championship. Now Nebraska basketball has to win a national championship to counter it. But yeah, I mean, do you think about the history Nebraska football had and Indiana basketball? And now currently both are bad. They're just horrible. Yeah, I mean, it's even worse that they're not even like awfully bad. Like Nebraska football and Indiana basketball are just pathetically mid. I mean, like just bad. I mean, like they're not.
There goes the word again.
You know, Indiana basketball every single year they barely miss the tournament, and then Nebraska football goes 5-7 or 6-6 every year. So it's like they're just mid. so mid, and both programs want to get good again, while their opposite programs now are really good.
I
weird.
love it when he says the word mid because it's just so funny, like on how he says it. Like I always get a laugh out of it. Like there was like one show where I forget what led up to it, but Jeffrey one time went, "It's mid, it's mid." So note to self, we're gonna get a T-shirt saying mid, and another one that says "Don't be a Dick Vitale." That's one of my favorite quotes from him. But yeah, like the Indiana basketball team, probably just me thinking this, but it's kind of felt like watching Charlie Brown at the pitcher's mound, where it's like they're close but no cigar in getting to March Madness, and it was like the
Indiana
same thing.
basketball last year was terrible.
Yeah,
they
and
were
like
so awful last year, and they still almost made the tournament. That's for one how
Do
bad
you-
the bubble was. But
do you
number
think
two,
you'll-
Lamar Wilkerson was incredible. He was a great player, but the rest of that team was awful.
Do you think they'll make the tournament this year?
And I
Jeffrey?
relish every
Yes, they
second of
will
it.
make the tournament this year.
I
What
made
if they
several
go
videos on that.
14?
Some of my best videos.
They'll go 14 and 16, Jeffrey, but they make the tournament as the last team in.
Dude, if they get in with a losing record, then college basketball is broken.
Some
they should
team
have
with a
never
losing
expanded
record
to
getting in.
76.
Auburn would have gotten in. They were
Yeah.
2-3 games under 500.
Mhm.
So you could be under 5. If you're mid, you're making the tournament every single year.
Oh, I got nothing nice to say about Bruce Pearl, man.
I have
hold on.
a-
I like what he's doing with the WNBA. He's expanding their product. I can say that about him.
I have a video queued up for tomorrow that's called it's titled Indiana paid West Virginia for Darren DeVries, and West Virginia still won.
I mean, the thing is like I don't even totally disagree with that. I mean, obviously, Derry
True.
DeVries, he's got to
Look where West Virginia is right now.
He's got to prove that he's actually good, as he hasn't really. But I mean, Indiana basketball they spent an insane amount on their roster.
Look where West Virginia's roster is right now. It destroys Indiana's roster right now.
It's
Even
probably
with all their spending. Oh, it is. You got 5-star Miles Sadler, who's mocked in a lot on first rounds at the point guard spot. You've got 5-star Mo Silla starting at the center spot. You've got former 5-star Joson Sannon starting at one of you at your 3-guard spot. You've got the Big East third leading scorer Finley Bizjack at 17 a game, mocked at second round.
Jack.
Right, at your 2. You've got a combination of either you got three guys you can play at the 4 that were all starters in Power 4 last year. You can go Seydou Traore, who was at Utah and Iowa before that. You can go with Jabin Buchanan, the best player on that Boise State team last year that averaged 13 and 5. Or you can go with your 4 from last year who just came back yesterday in Brennan Lorient, who averaged 12, 5, 2 blocks a game. So, yeah, it's the deepest team we've ever had. And that's not even including the other 6 4-stars we have. Like, it's insane. It's the best roster we've ever had by a large margin. And this is Ross Hodge in year 2.
What I'm hearing, I mean, I definitely do about a couple of those guys. I've heard about Sonnen.
Miles Sadler is probably, I promise you,
Arizona committed there.
If you don't buy stock in Miles Sadler now, I promise you will regret it. You'll know his name by the end of this year. He's the most impressive player I've ever seen coming out of high school. Like,
oh man, Miles Sadler will beat your eyes out if you go against.
He's only 5'11". Here, let me just real quick, and then I'm going to shut up for the night. Here's what he did this year coming in. He came into the year a 4-star and really had to prove himself. And so over the last month and a half of his high school season with Bella Vista, they won the national championship where he was the MVP of that tournament. They won the EYBL Scholastic tournament. He was the MVP of that. And then he went to the Nike Hoop Summit where he went 29 and 7 and was the best player on a floor full of top 30 players for the Canadian team. And just had an insanely nuclear last 2 months of his senior year where they had to give him that 5th star. And because now he's the top 15 player. He's being mocked in the top 30, as a 5'11" point guard. And he's getting Kyrie comparisons because his layup package is good, and it's that good. He's shooting right now. They're clocking him at 40% from 3 in practice. and he runs a 4.340. So although that doesn't really translate to basketball, he's got elite quickness. If you go put 30 seconds of his film on, I promise your jaw will hit the floor. I'm total like I'm shocked because we don't ever get players like this, and we did this year only because of relationships. And so, in this era, the relationships matter. But like Mo Silla, obviously, he was the last year in 2025. He was a top 20 player and a 5-star. He got hurt at Georgia Tech 8 games in. We really cleaned up. That 5 for 5 just kind of. I mean, it's going to help a lot of teams. But really, it gave us 2 Power 4 starters that I'm not going to say we didn't need them, but we're really deep now.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, definitely West Virginia could be really good. Sounds like they're going to be much improved. I mean, Indiana definitely improved the roster from last year. No doubt about it. Because, I mean, outside of Wilkerson and DeVries, no one was really high on anybody. And they were still projected to make the tournament, even though they missed it by like 2 spots. But regardless, this year, the key is Burton. Marcus Burton from Notre Dame. He's great, but he's injury prone. If he stays healthy, then Indiana's going to be really good. If he's not healthy, then there's problems because he's been hurt every year at Notre Dame. But when healthy, he's a 20-point-a-night scorer, 4 or 5 assists. Great player, but his health is key. They brought in Sherrell from Alabama, which I'm shocked. I'm still shocked that Sherrell left Alabama for Indiana when he could have come back to Alabama and been a big-time player again at Alabama. But, I mean, Indiana offered him a ton. So, I mean, he if he takes a leap, because he averaged like 11-7 last year, if he takes another leap, which is highly plausible, then that's one of the best bigs Indiana's had in a while, especially a guy that's versatile. Like Jackson Davis was incredible. He was one of the best bigs in the last 10 years in college basketball, but he couldn't shoot outside of 3 feet. Sherrell can shoot threes. He can run the floor and do a lot of crap. Bryce Lindsey from Villanova is a guy that averaged over 10 points in the Big East. Very, very, very solid player. They got a guy at 7'2" from SMU that's very, very difficult to pronounce his name. But he was a Turkish center that averaged over 10 at SMU, and they were a tournament team. So that's solid. They also got a transfer from Georgia Tech, 6'6" wing that averaged over 10 points. And they got 3 4-star freshmen that have all been balling out so far, like on their overseas trip that they had. They were all scoring like 30 points. Now, granted, they were playing, teams that weren't the best, but still, like all of them, it's been very high on so far. So even if only one of those freshmen really do well, that would be good. Plus, they get possibly Sam Alexis back because of the 5th-year rule. He was the center at Florida when they won a natty, even though he was a backup. But at Indiana last year, he averaged almost 10 and 8. He was like 9 and 7, 9 and 8, something like that, close to a double-double. And then they got Trent Sisley coming back, who averaged only 4 points last year, but he was a freshman, and a lot of people were expecting a big leap. So, again, Indiana mocked in most top 25 polls in the preseason. Granted, Indiana's name still holds a lot of weight despite them being trashed for so long. But if Indiana misses the tournament this year with that team, it's either because they had massive injuries or DeVries sucks. Like, I'm just flat out. There's no way in the world that team should miss a turn. I'm not saying whether they're going to make it or not. Indiana, they always disappoint me in basketball. So it wouldn't surprise me if they missed it at all. But with that team, almost any coach should be able to easily, especially if Burton's healthy, get that team to round of 32 or Sweet 16. No doubt about it. It's a lot of
I just
talent.
take it too personal, man, with them, because I had Tucker on my show when he was at West Virginia, and there was a payment arrangement made. And I don't want to talk about it too much, but he didn't hold up his end of the bargain for $1,000, and never gave it back to me either. Like, it's just almost like I was trash, blocked me. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, that's not something I can ever get over, man.
Mm-hmm.
And there are a lot of people that know about it, but like, it was like, okay, we had this deal, like he did 1, it's supposed to do 2, and he had the shoulder injury. So it's like, okay, I'm not going to bug him while he's got a hurt shoulder, obviously. So wait until the season was over. Well, they're 6 days into the season being over, they're gone to Indiana, and I'm blocked. It's like, so for me, it's like, I really do prey on their downfall. You know what I mean? So like, I live for it.
That guy was a tardy.
I mean, again, it was a bad
Yeah.
situation. Don't get me wrong. As an Indiana fan, obviously Alabama's my number one tier. Everybody knows that. But I like Indiana. I was not thrilled by the move. There was other coaches that I would have preferred that they got. I don't know why they went the DeVries route. I don't get it. It makes no sense to me. But whatever.
I think that move was made back in February. I do think that.
Again,
whenever Mike said he was
he's
done,
still definitely not as hated as Will Wade. Will Wade, that situation was still worse. I'm not defending DeVries at all because of the fact that it's still a terrible situation. But the Will Wade situation,
well, Darren didn't do anything to me. You know what I mean? It was just a kid, but I don't hold it too much of a grudge. I like seeing them lose. That's all.
I don't blame him. I mean, it's definitely very personal. Like if you were a fan of Louisville or any other team in college basketball or football, it wouldn't matter. It's because West Virginia fans despise them, and I don't blame them. It's just like right now, NC State fans, they cannot stand Will Wade. A lot of other people, they don't really like Will Wade. Like, oh, that's kind of
I can't believe they didn't see that coming.
Loathe Will Wade because of what he did. So it's like I don't blame West Virginia fans for not liking DeVries. It's very, very fair. If DeVries left Indiana for another program the way that he left West Virginia, then Indiana fans wouldn't like him. I mean, it's totally fair. I don't blame West Virginia fans at all.
If you go watch his first press conference in Indiana, whenever he was talking about his career, he said, we started out at Creighton, we went to Drake, and now we're here. Never mentioned West Virginia. It's like he was told not to mention it. And that's happened on several occasions. He's just gone out of his way not to mention West Virginia. I don't know, exactly what happened or didn't happen there. I think it's probably a lot of the fallout for, the way the fans acted probably didn't help. To me, what made me the most mad, to be honest with you, because I'm a players guy, I had KJ Tenner, a kid that he had come over from Tennessee, barely 3-star kid, but really had a lot of talent, messaging me at the middle of the night crying like, we just lost in the Big 12 tournament and Coach DeVries didn't get on the plane with us. He went to go meet with somebody else. We had to ride back alone. I don't know, just things like that stick with me. He didn't say a thing to the fans of West Virginia when he left. He just left. There wasn't a goodbye of any sorts at all. And maybe in this day and age where people do the disingenuous goodbyes on Twitter, maybe that's a good thing, but it did rub a lot of people the wrong way.
Even if he had have said positive stuff about West Virginia, then West Virginia fans still wouldn't like him. I mean, it's just you leave after 1 year, especially when you come in saying, hey, because I remember his press conference. I mean, I remember when I thought it was a good hire for West Virginia at the time because I remember what he did at Drake. And he was like, oh, we're going to build this thing, all the coach stuff that people say. I mean, it's like, like here long term. I mean, Will Wade said the same stuff at NC State. Oh, I'm going to build this thing for a long time. I get it. Again, I don't talk about DeVries that frequently because, again, Indiana basketball has just been a dumpster fire for so long. It's just like if they start winning, great. If not, whatever. I mean, there were a lot of other coaches I would have rather that they hired. But, again, I mean, the DeVries situation, I can totally understand why West Virginia fans don't like it. I mean, I personally myself didn't think that it was the smartest move to leave after 1 year. But, unfortunately – Indiana is still, after all this time, after 25 years of crap, they're just a much more desirable program than West Virginia in college basketball, and they offered him the job, and he took it. I mean, I don't like it. It's the same. Ole Miss. I don't like Lane Kiffin for leaving Ole Miss for LSU, but he did. He did because it's LSU, and it's wrong. No one likes it. No one's defending it. It sucks. DeVries leaving West Virginia, it sucks. Will Wade leaving NC State, it sucks. But they left. They left because it was a bigger job. They left because it was a bigger brand. That's just the way it is. It sucks. I don't like it, but it's the tale as old as time. It's been going on forever. Nick Saban left LSU for the NFL and then bolted goes to Alabama because it sucked in the NFL. So, I mean, it's like Alabama wouldn't even have the legacy of having two legendary coaches if he stayed at LSU. So it's hopefully West Virginia's coach now is great and that they have great success. And even for West Virginia fans, if they're better than Indiana, then it will be amazing. Now, I do want to say this real quick because this guy in chat, he says it's an L Live, not even talking about Alabama football and all that. It's a call-in show. I just preface that. So if you came on our Monday shows and our Tuesday shows and our upcoming post-game shows, you're good. You know, it's all Alabama all the time. But when we have a call-in show, we have Mountaineer Paul, you know, a great guest, you know, from Locked On West Virginia.
Guest.
You know, tons of shows with Jackson. He's a West Virginia guy, so we talk, you know, about, you know, what he wants to talk about. So I mean, you know, and what our callers.
We go the direction of where the callers
just make sure you're probably not even still here, but if you still are, I just kind of want to preface that yes, we do talk about Alabama, but on our call-in shows, we like to talk about what our callers want to talk about. Mix it up.
You know, to respect that injury too. You know, like it makes me so bad that he faked the shoulder injury. Like that's probably the worst thing for him.
That costed you the tournament bid 2 years ago because the committee said the reason you all didn't make the tournament was that injury changed your team.
Right.
Well, the thing that makes it worse is because you think about it, he knew the rule, right? He knew the rule that you can only play in like 10 games at maximum before after that you can't redshirt. You can't have a medical redshirt after that. So it's like he knew, okay, well, you know, I've played 8 games. And again, we don't know if there were already preliminary talks with DeVries in Indiana. We don't know when that started.
I'm pretty sure there were.
Indiana should have fired Woodson the year before. I'm not trying to defend Indiana here, but Indiana should have fired Woodson.
He was terrible coach.
There is absolutely no excuse why they gave Woodson another year. The DeVries hire would have never occurred, or it would have occurred right from Drake if they had to fire Woodson the year before. They would have had a shot at Dusty May a year before, Pat Kelsey a year before. Tons of people.
They could have got Pat Kelsey
to keep Woodson over DeVries for no reason other than the fact that he was an Indiana alum. And then
Pat Kelsey wasn't going to lose.
They knew that he was done. Literally when Indiana lost, I remember Indiana lost to Louisville in the Maui tournament, one of those tournaments. I don't remember which tournament it was. It was in the Thanksgiving tournament.
You got humiliated.
They got smoked. All right. Yep. Indiana fans were done. It was over. Woodson could not recover from that. And when did that happen? November. So right then and there, Indiana was already looking. And the DeVries stuff might already start from there. Tucker gets hurt same time. So if the talks were already there, that's why he shut it down. If the talks with Indiana weren't there, he would have come back and played for West Virginia. I'm not defending it. It's still terrible. But all that stuff kind of lined up at the same time. It would have never happened if Indiana had a fired Woodson the year prior, which they should have done. So all West Virginia got screwed, which was wrong, and it sucks, and I don't like it because of Indiana's failure to get rid of Woodson the year before.
Yeah,
a lot of people don't understand this. They should. Every single Indiana fan on the planet wanted Woodson gone the year before, and they knew he wasn't going to do anything good. They knew he wasn't going to win, and then after they got smoked in the Louisville game, they lost by 30 on national television before Thanksgiving. It was done. Even Indiana, everybody was like, "Yeah, Woodson's done." We all knew he's gone. And it was basically, they literally midway in the season were already like, well, he's done. He's just stepping down or whatever. It was total BS, right? We knew what happened. And unfortunately, West Virginia got the short end of the stick on it. It sucks. It really, really sucks. But
this is a product.
Happened, West Virginia fans. That is what happened.
Okay? This is a product
Indiana does not have any hate for your program. It's not. It wasn't some scheme. It's unfortunate that it occurred.
There we go.
Yeah, this is a product not of Indiana or anything like that. This is a product of the schedule and the lack of a clear calendar affecting college basketball.
West Virginia fans hate Indiana now, and it's not fair. I get it. It sucks, but it's not. This isn't the Lane thing. The Lane thing's worse. It's still worse.
Will Wade is worse, Jeffrey.
Will Wade is way worse.
Yeah, Will Wade went back to the program that he left for 1 year. And that was way worse.
I don't know about that, man.
West Virginia. I would have preferred Indiana to hire basically anyone else. DeVries was never on my radar, ever.
I want to see what NC
they did. What they did. Like I said, I don't agree with it. It really stinks for West Virginia, but I hope West Virginia has it better off now with their new coach.
They will. DeVries lost.
I just don't. The West Virginia hate online to Indiana is just come on, man. We've had no beef before. We don't need beef now.
Well, it's directed to DeVries, man. That's what it is.
Hold on, gentlemen. We got another call joining the panel tonight, and his name is Brock. How
I'm
you
a
doing
Bama
tonight,
fan
good bud?
from I'm good, man. I'm a Bama fan from Mississippi.
Oh wow,
Um
an Alabama fan from Mississippi.
so
Nice.
yeah. My dad's from Ozark, but I grew up a Bama fan because of my dad. So long story short, I've been a Tide fan since 2007, 8,
Nice.
so yeah. And but Sherelle, the reason why he left Bama, he got paid like around $4 million. So hats off to him. I wish we could have got him back, Jeffrey. If you're listening, but
Mm.
if you can actually go to it, look up his name, and it says his NIL is around $4 million. So
Mhm.
he and Alabama does not pay that type of money in basketball.
Mm.
They just don't. I don't know if Bama has the money, but I know they're not Nate Oates and them. They don't spend that type of money on one player. But I do think our roster is underrated this year in basketball. We brought in we have a reclassified guy. His name is Diaz, Anderson Diaz is his name. And he's very good, man. He's from New York. Y'all can check him out, but he's real shifty. I mean, like, he's raw, of course, he's young, but I think he's gonna help Alabama. And Aiden Holloway, he's supposed to be coming back for, I think this will be his last year with Alabama. And then we also got another guy, freshman named Samuel and Bowie. Those two guys, they came in this year. So we got a talented class, and we got the center from Kentucky, Brandon Garrison.
Mm.
And then we picked up two centers. We got the other one from he's a guy with tattoos, a white guy. He's really good. I can't think of his, what team he was on though.
I know you're
Oh,
talking
it was what's the blue, doggone it?
Give me a first name or a last name you're thinking of.
It's the blue and orange.
They got that
up north.
guy from Boise.
Boise. Yeah,
Drew
that's the team.
Fielder.
Boise. Yep,
Yeah.
Drew. That's what I'm talking about. I think he's a guy that'll fit NATO's system well because he can shoot the three. And Brandon
Grant
Garrison
Nelson,
can actually shoot threes too. So you got two versatile centers.
Oh,
and-
Drew Fielder. You're talking about
yeah, Drew Fielder. Yeah. Now I'm not saying I think Garrison probably starts over him because Garrison's actually played in the SEC. He knows how to he's more I think he's more physical probably coming in. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not saying that Drew Fielder's not, he's a slouch or nothing, but I just think the physicality is already there with Brandon Garrison. If you look at him when Kentucky won that playoff game last year, who was that against? They won that playoff game and he had a really good defensive game. And he had I think he had like 10 points or something, maybe a little bit more, but he had a really good game. Brandon Garrison did. So we'll see how it fits. But I'm excited for our basketball team. Football side of it, I'm gonna flip and talk about football right quick. I think our defensive line is gonna be excellent. I think our secondary is gonna be the best in the country. And I'm not just saying this because I'm a diehard Bama fan, but man, like, we have so much experience on the back end, and then you add guys like a Devin Tompkins, you add guys like a Terrence Green, you add guys like, even a Justin Hill that we got from Ohio that we recruited out of high school. You got him coming his second year, and then you got Yanze Pierre, who's going to be, I think, one of the best in the SEC off the edge. So Xavier Brown and Dijon Lee Jr., I think both of those guys are going to be really good. I think also our inside linebacker, Jackson, listen, our inside linebacker, Luke Metz, bro. I heard that this dude goes sideline to sideline. He was in scrimmage today, flying around, man. And I'm gonna tell you this: he played at Mill Creek, where Caleb Downs came from. He played. I think he played with Caleb. Yeah, I think they was in the same. They weren't in the same class, but I know that he was right after Caleb Downs recruited or class. But I'm just saying, man, QB Reese, inside linebacker also, and Caleb Woodson, they said he's excellent, man. So
He was a team
he
captain
learned
of
the
Virginia
playbook
Tech
and
for a
everything.
reason, no doubt.
Yeah, he's learned the playbook and everything. But man, I live like 3 minutes from Quitman football field where AK Deer played, right? I live in Quitman, Mississippi. I'm from Meridian, but I live in Quitman. AK Deer parents live right down the road, like from my house. So yeah, like it sucks that he went down, man. I really hope that tomorrow we hear something on his injury update, because I just hope it's not too bad, man. Because we're gonna need AK this year, man. I think a guy like Trayshawn Brown is gonna be really good for us in the future. Trayshawn, they put out that video, the scrimmage video, where it's like 20 some seconds long. They don't show much; they just show a little bit of what happened in the scrimmage. But I seen Trayshawn Brown break 2 tackles. And this ain't the first video that I've seen him carry the ball. Every time I've seen him in little short videos that Alabama football puts out, the official Twitter channel, man, I'm telling you, this kid is going to be special. And I think EJ Crowell, I think they do not want him. They already believe in his skill set, right, Jackson? They believe that he can be that guy for Alabama's running back room. Now, will he like be running back one to start the season? No, probably not. But guess what? By the end of this season, I'm telling you, EJ Crowell is going to be a household name in Alabama football running back room. You can bank it. And Trayshawn Brown too, I believe. And the offensive line, to me, I think Keelan Russell wins the job, in my opinion. I also believe Austin Mack is going to transfer after this year, because
where do you think he'll transfer to if he does transfer?
A smaller school, man.
Like somewhere in the ACC, Big 12.
Yeah. Like, let's say like maybe like Pitt or like I don't know, a Virginia Tech or
Virginia Franklin, that'd be cool. I'd love to see if he'll go to Wake Forest, because we got one of our Bama guys
a good place.
Offensive coordinator at
Wake
Forest.
Yep.
That would be pretty.
That would be a good spot. But I just think Keelan's too good, man. I've heard reports where they're saying, I know a guy that's in the Red Elephant Club, that one of my Twitter buddies, I've been knowing him a couple years now. And every year, every scrimmage Alabama has, every offseason, whatever, fall camp, he goes to him every scrimmage. He's part of the Red Elephant Club. And he said today, like, Keelan, man, every ball he throws, it hits guys in the chest. Like, he doesn't miss, man. Like, he is a natural freaking quarterback, man, that can just rip it. You know what I'm saying? And I know that, Austin Mack has this big time arm. I hear everybody saying that. But sometimes it's not always about that, man. It's about the accuracy, can you take care of the football? Can you be a guy that can be, like, you remember how Bryce Young maneuvered in the pocket? Like, this is what Keelan Russell, I'm hearing that he's doing. Like, because our offensive line is not gelled right now. You know what I'm saying? And to me, he's the best guy for the job because of that. He's more mobile. I mean, it's not rocket science. Everybody knows this. Like, he's the more mobile guy. And I think we will have bumps and bruises with him now, because he's still young. This is only his second year. But I don't think I think if you just take the bumps and bruises early, I think we can we can get through it. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we're gonna lose to a Kentucky like people think in year 3. I don't see that happening. I know some people say, "Oh, Alabama, well, watch out, Kentucky." No, bro. Like our defense is gonna be too good. Good luck trying to throw on our defense. That's all I know.
I can't wait for Kentucky's QB to go against Devon Tompkins. It's gonna get ugly for the Kentucky Corvette.
Yep. And look, and guess who we got in the middle? Terrence Green batting that ball down, buddy. Good luck. Good luck. And our D line is, we were like top 15 in like size and stuff, like in the SEC. Now we're top 5, dude. Like Jackson, we've gotten bigger, stronger. Like I'm gonna tell you, like Kane Womack said in his interview, mass kicks ass. And that's what Bama's gonna do. Kick ass, brother. Yes, sir.
You get me all fired up, and I love it.
Hey man, I don't hardly get on here. Like I watch y'all show all the time. You know, I'm not a guy that likes to comment a lot. I just like to observe and listen. I'm more of a listener than a just, get on here and, bump my gums, you know what I'm saying? But I just get on here and tell how I feel, about the scrimmage and stuff. But other than that, man, I'm a Tide fan till the day I die, man.
There you go, man.
I love Alabama football. The day that we lost Nick Saban, I shed tears, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I shed tears. I shed tears, man. I love Nick Saban,
man. It was,
but you know what? It psychs me. It psychs me to know that Nick Saban is helping Kane Womack all season getting his defense ready, and I love every damn bit of it. I'm sorry to tell you.
And before we get to our next caller, Brock, what are your final thoughts from the scrimmage, man? How you feeling about where things are at the moment? And
well, what I want to see next scrimmage, I want to see the offense improve. Like I want to see, because you remember in the Saban like scrimmages, like when Saban was the coach, like it was always the defense and then the offense bounced back. So I want to see like a balanced attack. You know what I'm saying? Like give me the defense at first. Okay, that's fine. But let me see the offense, show a fight. You know what I'm saying? Just go out there and play harder, man. And but that's all, man. I just hope next Thursday is our next scrimmage, I heard. So I hope we can improve, man, get better.
I want you to know, Brock, you are more than welcome to call in on the Alabama Call-In Show anytime, man.
Yes, sir.
We would love to hear you come on in next week, man. Don't be a stranger, man. Stay safe.
Yes, sir.
Stay away from the heat, my guy.
All right, appreciate you. Y'all have a blessed night. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, Brock. There we go. And we've got next couple callers here and there, and Jeffrey's gonna sign off for tonight. And before he goes, what have you got going on, good buddy?
I do appreciate that, Jackson. It was definitely a ton of fun tonight. We got a few more callers, but definitely gotta get some shout out. I do again appreciate all the support you guys have showed on my channel, Only Talk Sports, over the years. Just past the 4th year of its existence. It's kind of it's crazy to look back. It's been that long.
Your 4-year anniversary.
Met Jackson shortly after, so it's been a fun ride, man. We've had a lot of great times. It's definitely, hopefully, a lot more years in the future. Alabama, the voice of college football. We're doing a lot of stuff with Travion on Mondays and me and you on Thursday in the post-game show. It's been a ton of fun there, but also do appreciate everybody's checking my channel on Only Talk Sports. Also, definitely will have more content coming as we get closer to the season for sure. I'm not just saying it. It definitely will happen. Also, follow me on X to know when I'm going live on my channel, and also here at Alabama, the voice of college football. Most importantly, again, thanks everybody for all the support. Thanks, Mountaineer Paul, for coming on. Love always chatting with Mountaineer Paul about West Virginia. And again, just wanted to preface, it's Alabama show. We do talk about West Virginia. Do appreciate Mountaineer Paul for coming on. And again, like earlier, definitely not defending, DeVries there. It's really tough for West Virginia, but
that is a
just Indiana. I do think Indiana gets too much hate for that one. But it's just definitely good getting Mountaineer Paul.
Paul against
and again, that's brutal, by the way, on the Tucker situation with him. That's awful. That definitely is I we were talking more about the coaching situation. We kind of wouldn't say glossed over that, but didn't really get to respond to that. If
I
Mountaineer
want
Paul
Paul to
was
get
here,
1,000 back.
that's terrible. That is absolutely abysmal, and I feel really awful for Mountaineer Paul on that. It's terrible, but do love when Mountaineer Paul comes on.
He's a great
Definitely hope
guy.
West Virginia football and basketball have a great season. Do appreciate everybody else for coming on. Caden the Diesel Freak as well. And I'm sure also, it's going to be a fun having Burks on and maybe even Lucas Hill. Hopefully Lucas Hill too. But do appreciate everybody for being here tonight. And definitely hope you have a great rest of the show, Jackson. And again, roll
Tide. See you on Monday, good buddy.
See you on Monday. Have a great night.
You too, man. Man, I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be a wild ride, for the Crimson Tide. And we've got our next couple callers. We've got Lucas Hill coming in the chat, calling in. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's always a fun ride on the magic he's bringing on his channel at Southern Sports Scene. How you doing tonight, good buddy?
Hey, Jaden Daniels, what you going to do about this 5?
He ain't gonna do anything. More like, what's his mama gonna do?
He made a horrible mistake letting family members control what he does. But I'm
yeah,
sure
like that's the thing though. It is like you got to be careful with having family members and friends getting in your ear about stuff. Like, because if they are, you better make sure they know what they're talking about. You better, because when it comes to like finances or advice, stuff like that, you better make sure that they know what they're doing. You can't just go, oh, well, back in the day, that was my best friend from 3rd grade on Friday nights, or no. You got to take nostalgia out of it.
Did you see LSU practice earlier today?
What did I miss? Oh, wow.
That's a lot of 5s in there.
Uh-huh.
You see some more 5s?
Uh-huh.
What does that tell you? This is what LSU is basically doing to Jaden.
There you go.
You are not bigger than the program itself. This is the ultimate message that has to be given to every freaking football player out there. Whether you win the Heisman Trophy or not, Jaden Daniels' legacy was not as big compared to a guy like Joe Burrows when you win a national championship, when you have the season that you do have. And guys, the bottom line is Ohio State doesn't have BS like this. Bama's got 3 of 4 that won a national title and a Heisman in the same year. Are their jerseys retired? No. Have we had other players wear number 2, number 22, and number 6 since then? You damn right. Have we had more players that have not worn 9 and 5 since then? Sure. But here's the difference between Jaden Daniels' situation and where we are right now with DJ Pickett wearing 5. DJ Pickett's on the defensive side of the ball. Jaden Daniels was on the offensive side of the ball. His family members act like his contributions are going unnoticed. Nobody is denying the fact that this was the worst defense in college football that same year, and he won them about 3 or 4 games throughout that season. Nobody is taking that away from him. It's the fact of the entitlement and the feeling of how you think you are bigger than the program. And the bottom line is, guys, he's not. There are others that came before him. Billy Cannon wasn't complaining for 50 years before he got his jersey retired. So why on earth is this new? Why in the state of Baton Rouge, or really in the city of Baton Rouge, why is this a whole ordeal? By the way, on a side note, Burks and Michigander, what the frick is going on in this chat? Y'all are going insane. Like what is this all about? I just saw in the little private chat, Burks is having the time of his life. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. Michigander calling me a conspiracy weirdo is like trying to fight me. Jackson, what's going on with them? I feel like every time these two get together, there's always a fight.
It's like a cat fight. I'm just like, what? I'm just like talking about college football. I'm just like, I have no idea what's going on in chat sometimes. I'm just like, come on in. But when you call in, and Bert's don't say anything about because like you can come in and say, hey, I disagree about Mitch Gander about this, that, or the other, but do not be telling him to suck my land down under like you did a couple weeks ago. Do not
Jackson,
be saying.
Can you pull up this comment by Artistically Incredible?
Yeah. Let's have a more staid conversation like Colorado winning the Big 12, right, Lucas?
Okay. Artistically,
I'm just like, don't be telling Michigander to suck my land down under. Don't be going at them, Birch. No. Just don't let yourself get all mad. No worries.
So, funny story about Artistically's comment. He's a regular viewer on my channel, and he's been very vocal about how Colorado is a dark horse in the Big 12. And you know how much I do not like Colorado, Jackson?
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I am.
Yes,
I am.
Let's have a more sane conversation about something like that, so we can go more insane.
I am curious to see if we'll see Colorado just have a random winning season out of nowhere this season. Because like every time we see nobody talking about Colorado, they somehow pull a rabbit out their hat like they did 2024. But when everybody and their grandmother was talking about them on 60 Minutes, forget College Game Day, forget mid-noon kickoff, forget CBS Sports.
Mm-hmm.
You have like 60 Minutes talking about Colorado. They fall apart in 2023. They fall apart in 2025. You know who they're kind of like? They're kind of, it's going to sound weird, but they're like a Big 12 equivalent of South Carolina. When everybody talks about them, they don't
Tell
do
me about it.
Yeah, I mean, like when everybody talks about them, they don't do what they do. They don't do so well when everybody talks about. But when they are expected to fall apart, tuck their tail and hide, they thrive on that.
Jackson, I wonder who said that over the last year.
You.
Ding, 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 ding. I have said that over last year.
Yep. I know you've been saying that the last year. I know Jeffrey has been saying that as well. Because I know he was talking a little bit about that with South Carolina last year, last summer. Because like he expected South Carolina to have a down season.
I did too. I thought it was going to be more of a consistent type of thing. I thought 8-4 was a very, very reasonable target for you. But I heard people were saying, man, this is a playoff team. This is something that, man, this is going to be a fantastic season. And then what? They can't coordinator hire and fall flat on their face. One of the worst offensive line in the SEC this past year. All on the portal now. You revamp the O-line. You fire Mike Shula. Lenoris has a down year, partly because of the way that the offense was moving, especially when you got to the opposite side of the 50. So that's when the trouble really started to emerge.
Oh man, like
are you bringing him more, or are you going to give him time?
Oh yeah, and we've got Bert's coming in the call-ed section. Wait, he's got the
yes. Finally,
there we go. How you doing tonight, good buddy?
Yeah, what's up, man? What's up, Lucas? What's up, Jackson? Pretty great day, man. I ain't gonna lie. The Bears, are basically going to Indiana. My hometown. They're not gonna move to Arlington Heights because I'm a Packers fan.
No way.
And I'm so happy. Yeah, they're basically focusing on going to Indiana. So, such a great day, man. You don't understand, dude.
So they ain't got to deal with the crap that you guys are basically putting them through.
Yeah, man, and not only that, it's like, man, the traffic would be awful where I live, and like the food and stuff, like the tax will go high just to pay that damn stadium.
Right.
Like, good, Indiana can go and take
You
the
know,
bill. I'm just gonna say that. So happy.
it feels weird calling the
Yeah,
Chicago Bears Chicago if they're not in Illinois. It's gonna feel weird
yeah,
a little bit. Like, I mean, it's just, oh my god. I mean, that's like a staple of that
yeah.
town. But something's telling me that Bad Moon is rising over in the city of Chicago. But
Yeah, want me to tell you something crazy? So I was born in Arlington Heights, Illinois. Same hospital as a lot of famous people. I can go and tell you some names, man. Charlie Kirk. I was born 2 rooms away from him. Walter Payton's son, right? Max Christie and Chris Christie from Basketball Brothers, right? They were born in the same.
Wait. Chris Christie, the New Jersey governor?
No. There's these NBA players, they're brothers or something like that, right? So
Wait. Yes, I do know Chris Christie. He plays for
yeah.
the Kings, didn't he?
Yeah, man. So those two, and then who else, man? There was more. Oh, Jimmy Garoppolo. Like, it's crazy, man. I was born in the same hospital as like a lot of people. Some famous comedian. I have no clue who the hell he is, but it's pretty crazy. So
when I'm thinking of Chicago legends that are like really involved in the sports world, especially like Chicago celebrities, I'm always thinking of Bill Murray because I mean, like he's always at
yeah.
like because he was like subbing in for Harry Carey when Harry Carey was recovered from his stroke in 1987, like just calling games for a little bit. I know I was seeing him at Xavier basketball games, and he was at UConn basketball games. Like, and I know like some people were thinking, oh, he must be a bandwagon fan. No, it's because his son, Luke Murray, was an assistant head coach in those years. And now Luke Murray is going to be a head coach for Boston College basketball. Like, I'm already just getting excited thinking about seeing Bill Murray attending those games. Honestly, like I want to see like how long the camera's going to cut in for those appearances. That'll be cool.
Still kicking.
So about the Jaden Daniels stuff.
Bill Murray was all like, because I've been seeing him a lot over there. Like, this year, April 2026, he was at some UConn games. He was on an episode of the Joe Rogan Experience on March 1st of 2025, which he talked about all kinds of things, including his buddy, John Belushi, who passed away in 1982, of course. I mean, that clip is, man, that's an incredible clip right there where he talks about his buddy, John Belushi. But
he just couldn't get sober. He would be regarded right now as probably one of the most creative actors of all time. And he probably still is. One of the funniest dudes that I saw in the late movies back in the late 70s and 80s when they produced them. He just never could get it together when it came to his sober life. And I wish he could. I mean, I really wish I could have seen him in some older movies or in some movies around my time, I should say.
Oh, that'd be funny, man. Like, no doubt. Like, I mean, like he's a legend of Blue Brothers, man. I mean, because that movie is a classic. I mean, how do some people think I found the song "Minnie the Moocher"? I'm just like going on YouTube searches, just looking for that song. And it's like, oh my god, this guy Cap Calloway's a freaking legend. And I see him singing a 1930s version, then just singing like a version where he's like a little walrus out in the dark. Probably why you don't go staying up at 3:00 in the morning, because then you're gonna see some walrus singing about Minnie the Moocher, man. There's just things you don't do in life.
I have to ask a question. Have you ever been to Insomnia in Tuscaloosa?
Oh, I couldn't hear you. It's
he cracked up. Yeah.
Have you ever been to Insomnia in Tuscaloosa?
To where?
Insomnia.
Oh, Insomnia in Tuscaloosa?
Insomnia cookies. Yes.
No.
Okay. So
I'm not sure. I hope those don't have weed in them.
No, they shouldn't.
Okay. I mean, dude, they're everywhere, man. Like where I live. Yeah, it's crazy. They're
I
like
don't.
pretty fattening, actually. Like, you're gonna be like 1,000 calories in one cookie. I'm dead ass in this shit.
So I've
Yeah.
never had one before. I've
Yeah.
had a crumble cookie before, but like my only thing that was close to favorite, my only near favorite cookie that I had was probably the sea salt chocolate chip ones. But oh my gosh, it's just way too much for me. Okay, Burks, I got to ask you a question now. Have you ever been to Marianne's in Champaign?
Yeah, I have. My brother went to Illinois, so yeah, he went to Champaign, Urbana. So,
What do
yep.
they serve?
What do you say?
What do they serve?
They serve crawfish and like some Cajun stuff and some like donuts, and it's really weird.
In the
It's really complicated, that place. I don't know. They were serving crawfish when we were there, so I have no clue. You trying to search it up, Jackson, or?
Oh, no. It's all good. I was looking at the insomnia cookies.
Oh yeah.
Oh God, they got a cookie cake. Nice.
Yeah, it's crazy. So Jackson, did you hear about the AJ McCarron stuff? I don't know if you heard, but he
Mm-mm.
said that right now the QB battle, no one has separated themselves. It's that close, and like he feels like if Austin Mack was to be the QB, that he'd have like more freeway. So basically, what he's trying to say is that Austin Mack, in his opinion, should win the job. I don't know if you saw that today, but
Oh wow.
yeah, if you search it up, like AJ McCarron is kind of for. He's not saying like that like the battle is over, but he's basically saying it's like neck and neck, and they feel they should take Austin Mack. Is basically what he's saying. So I don't know if you saw that, but it's actually crazy. So I'd have to, and I'm not gonna lie, he's more into the system, but like again, like the good part is if he's trash or something like that, then they can easily give Keelan Russell. He'll be ready. So I don't
There
know.
we go. We'll be ready to rock and roll. I can't wait to find out on who's going to be the QB for Alabama. Final thoughts on what Alabama's going to be looking like in your eyes in the coming weeks, man.
Man, so here's the issue, all right? So, Caden, right? I'm going to let you know something. I did go on his show. He did call in last week, right?
Okay.
And he said that I said that Alabama is overhyped. No, I didn't say any of that, so don't listen to him. You can even watch it yourself,
Oh,
all
yeah.
right? He likes to make stuff up about, like, that's what he did with Lucas Hill last show, right? In his show last week. So, no, I don't think Alabama is overhyped or any of that stuff. If anything, right, people are thinking Alabama is not that great, right? Like they're going to be like Stephen A. Smith and stuff. The media is not so high for Alabama. I believe that Alabama will actually be a playoff team 10-2. I feel like, they have a lot of talent. People don't realize, right? They have a lot of talent. I don't know why people are not realizing that. Now, yes, a lot of it hasn't started. It's a new talent and stuff. But, like there's some new guys out there, I feel. But I feel like it's a 10-2 team. And I feel like, is this a championship team? No. Is this a semifinal team? No. Is this a quarterfinal? Maybe. Yeah, but that's like the best it'll be is a quarterfinal. I don't think it'll be a semifinal. And if they're a playoff team, there's a really good chance they make the playoffs and they maybe lose the first round. It's possible, but I feel hey, they're 10-2. Team right there. I feel with the talent and Kalen DeBoer, he knows how to get to the playoffs and that. I feel like you have a guy like Keelan Russell who played a really great spring game, right? He can throw the ball. You have some receivers, like Sedarian Morgan, and I think Ryan Coleman or whatever Ryan Williams is going to be good. So 10-2 is what I feel. I don't know if you agree with that or, so.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see Alabama go 10-2. That would be neat if that can happen. Honestly, I mean that is what I want to see for Alabama. But that's all Bama has to do. we'll be good to go if Bama goes 10-2. I want to see them make at least a run to the semifinals. I want to see them surprise somebody in the quarterfinals. That'd be neat.
Yeah, see, I feel like this is if Keelan Russell, this is his first year, it's going to be hard to go to the semifinal, I feel, right? You need to give him another year because listen, dude, Elite 11, he's an Elite 11 winner. He was amazing, man. Like I saw his Elite 11. He is a good QB. And I do feel like he will eventually, if he doesn't start, he'll start eventually. I feel like Austin Mack will play a bad game if he starts. Because according to AJ McCarron, he likes Austin Mack, basically of what he's saying. But we'll see, man. 10-2 is what I have. That's my final prediction
Same.
for Alabama. Will you guys make the SEC title?
Honestly, it's like if you make
it depends,
the SEC,
man. It depends.
I'll be honest, Birds.
Yeah.
If Alabama makes it to the SEC title, they're basically in the playoffs with that
Yeah.
record. I mean, they're not. Yeah, because it's like I've made this point since I've been hosting the Alabama channel in 2024. Is that if you make the SEC title or if you make the Big Ten title, you're automatically in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Whereas like the ACC and the Big 12, you're not so lucky. You got to win the conference. You got, if you're an at-large team in the ACC or the Big 12, you better have a really good regular season. I mean, that's why it's like I'm probably in the minority of wanting teams to have bigger non-con schedules so bad. That's why it's like I like seeing Alabama have a big non-con. I like seeing Michigan, Ohio State, USC, Notre Dame, Ohio, Texas, Oklahoma, Texas A&M, or I already mentioned USC. Shoot, Nebraska and a few other teams. Chat, let me know what y'all think. Now, I'm giving Indiana a 1-year pass, but I'm gonna give them crap a little bit for canceling that Virginia home and home and canceling the Notre Dame home and home. But I mean, at the same time, I'm not. I'm sad that Notre Dame Indiana is not going to be played, but at the same time, it does mean Notre Dame USC's back 2030. Although I'd prefer it to be on rivalry week this year as opposed to Notre Dame Syracuse. I mean, nobody's sitting there thinking Notre Dame Syracuse. Like, what would be better for me is to have like Notre Dame Miami instead of Notre Dame Syracuse. Because I mean, like Notre Dame Miami on November 7th, along with Alabama LSU, along with Georgia Ole Miss, along with Oregon Ohio State. That just makes it seem all jumbled for Miami Notre Dame. I mean, I'd rather have that on rivalry week because I mean that is a rivalry right there. I mean, like Notre Dame was mad about Miami getting in. Miami was getting mad about getting screwed up, coming up short in 1988. I mean, think about it. Like that game screams rivalry for me. Why the ACC is not taking advantage of that is beyond me. That is beyond.
And last thing I just want to say, I'm just a little mad too that if they make it to 24 teams in the playoffs, they're going to take conference games out. And conference games, man, they were the best, and part of Michigan's history is, winning the Big Ten, and that game's not going to be there. SEC championship, right? So many good SEC championship games with Alabama and Georgia and stuff. And we're not going to see that. And it's going to be gone. I'm pretty certain, dude. Because let's be real here. They're going to complain saying that, we have to play an extra game and then we're going to go to the playoffs and we don't want to play this extra game. And what if a player gets hurt? It's going to be gone, man. It is. And it sucks.
The fact that there's like even a discussion about it in the spring, where like the commissioner's having to say the SEC title game continues on, that means it's going away. It's going to go away within the next few years. Not a matter of if, but when. It's the same thing with divisions in all of the conferences in college football. Because it was like it started with the SEC, then it started with the Big Ten, which I mean, still though, I don't know what the hell the Big Ten was thinking when they had like the Legends Leaders division.
Oh my God! Don't even bring
don't get me wrong. Like I thought, the only thing I thought that was pretty cool was seeing like Michigan, Ohio State in the different divisions. That way, it's like we could see like a Big Ten title rematch. But what I didn't like was separating Wisconsin from Iowa and Minnesota and
Yeah.
separating Iowa from Wisconsin and, all that. I thought that was pretty messed up.
Nah, Big Ten has done some pretty clownish stuff, the COVID, for football, like that was the worst. Don't even, and you know what's funny? Guess who the president was and the commissioner of the Big Ten? It was freaking who was it?
Warren. Yeah, Kevin
Yes, yeah.
Warren.
Who is the Bears president? And look at the stadium drama that's been happening, and they're moving to Indiana. He is the worst commissioner ever. Okay, not even a question, man. Like not even a question. But
Like, I'll be honest, like if I had it my way, and I like Rutgers, don't get me wrong, because they were like the team that birthed college football, so to speak, along with Princeton in 1869. But on the contrary, I'll switch Rutgers with Pittsburgh. Want to know why? Because I want Penn State Pittsburgh on rivalry week. I mean, who gets to decide about Penn State, Michigan State, or Penn State, Maryland, Penn State, Rutgers? I've never heard anybody say, let's get drunk and watch Penn State, Michigan State. That's never happened. You know what? Like Penn State, Pittsburgh returning as an annual rivalry, it would be kind of like when Alabama, Auburn returned in 1948. That's what it would be kind of like. Like if it, I really believe that. I mean, it's like I will die on that hill, to be honest. Like if Penn State, Pittsburgh was playing one another annually, I feel like it would be up there. I mean, I know like Pitt's not been as good as they were in the late. They've not been anywhere near good like they were in the early '80s or the mid to late '70s with Johnny Majors and Jackie Sherrill. But still, though, it would have been in the top 10 rivalries in all college football if they had stayed on an annual basis, from 1993 to now. Had they, because like this every 4 years crap, I don't like it. That is in state. I mean, can you imagine what a 2009 Penn State Pittsburgh game would have brought us?
oh my God.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
Chat, let me know what y'all think of that. Let me know what y'all think. I went a little off the rails just thinking about like that for a moment.
Now you're good, man.
All right, man. Well, I'll be seeing you soon, and you stay safe, stay cool, and stay away from the heat, my dude.
Yeah, no, take care, my man. It was really fun talking to you, and I do apologize for what I did with the D word. I won't say the D word again. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Take care, my dude.
Oh, you too, man.
Yeah. All right.
Oh my God. 2007 expanded playoffs. Anybody could have been the national champion that year. I mean, it's like, I cannot lie when I say that. Anybody could have been a national champion that year. I mean, like, I know LSU won it all against Ohio State, but it is fun to think about whether West Virginia could have won it all. And had Dennis Ditson not gotten hurt against Arizona, and had he not gotten hurt against Arizona State, man, the Oregon Donald Ducks could have made claim for an 07 national title. I'm telling you right now, that would have been a lot of fun to see. That would have been fun. I mean, like USC, that's another team, because I know like John David Booty going down for a few weeks, that really hurt USC for a little bit, and they got lucky. They got lucky and were able to basically win the Pac-10 that year. Because like people tend to forget that 07 season, I mean, like USC almost lost out on their dominance, but thanks to Arizona coming through, thanks to UCLA coming through, that helped the USC Trojans a little bit. And, USC beating Arizona State on Thanksgiving night, which, again, I thought USC Arizona State on Thanksgiving night was weird, but I don't know. Like some games there on rivalry week kind of weird me out, but that's neither here nor there. Because some of them don't scream rivalry week to me. But all right, chat. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to the 97th edition of the Alabama Crimson Tide Live College Show. As we went over quite a little bit about the Alabama Crimson Tide in the beginning, and of course, on the Alabama College Show, of course. Oh my God, Kansas. Oh, 100% Kansas would have been in the playoffs. Kansas. Would we have seen a Kansas-Missouri rematch? I mean, those two teams were in the Civil War against one another. Forget. I mean, those guys were going against one another. I mean, man. I mean, they were buttholes and elbows with one another, man. Like the Kansas Jayhawks, man. That would have been fun to see Todd Reesing in a playoff game. How fun would that have been? It would have been extremely fun. I mean, tell me anybody wouldn't have wanted to see a Kansas-West Virginia matchup. I do. I know you guys do. That would have been fun. But before we go, we want to tell you about our sponsor, FanDuel, of course, because, I mean, the NBA season is going to be back in a couple months. It's going to be back. You got the Celtics and the Pistons. And the Pistons are the 1.5 favorite as of right now, according to the line on the spread. The Celtics are a 1.5 underdog. The over-under is 221.5. The Celtics, what were they thinking? What were they thinking trading Jaylen Brown for Paul George? I mean, my God. No. Just no. You're telling me you're not going to win a title in 2026, 2027. But we're going to wait and see. And then we got the 76ers and the New York Knicks. The defending champion Knicks going up against LeBron James and the 76ers. Can you believe we're even saying like LeBron James and the 76ers? You would think it'd be LeBron James and the Heat or the Lakers or, the Cavaliers. But October 20th, wild ride right there. That's going to be nuts. I mean, NBC that night, that's going to be nuts. Thunder Spurs, Victor Wembanyama, nuts. There we go. There we go. And it's all right there on FanDuel. You got the odds right here. I'm personally going to go with, for now, I'm taking the Pistons. Although that pick can change. That can change. The Spurs Thunder, I've got the Spurs winning, beating the 1.5 spread on the line. And I'm going to take the money line on the Knicks. And it's going to be under 233.5 points for both teams. It's going to be a wild ride. But I can tell you right now, you can find me on Jackson Johnson 979, where I'll have some upcoming episodes of the Jacksonian, all right there. You can find me on College Sports Insiders Mountaineer Paul. You can find me guesting on Lockdown West Virginia, but you can also find me Monday night, 6 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Alabama Crimson Tide Live. And you can find me on the Alabama Crimson Tide Live call-in show at 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, Thursdays, all right here. And for more updates, what I've got going on Alabama, the Voice of College Football, check me out on JatsVOCB on @/Twitter and on Instagram, JatsJots543-908. And we'll be seeing y'all later. Stay safe, stay cool. Thank y'all for the super chats. Thank you for the super sticker to Godfather the SEC. Sorry to not get that. $4.99 a month. If you really want to get your comments out the way, put them in the chat. Put them in a super chat, put in a super sticker. But even if you can't be able to contribute by putting in a super chat or super sticker, no worries whatsoever. It's all good. And we also thank Sports Talk with Austin again for the $2 super chat. Thank you guys so much. We'll be seeing y'all soon. Stay safe, stay cool. Like, comment, subscribe, click on the notification bell so you never miss another video whatsoever. We'll be seeing y'all soon. And roll Tide. See you Monday night, everybody.